brigade rides again, and a glorious story lives again, sweeping you across thousands of miles of Asia, from the battlefield of Balaclava to the historic Khyber Pass. From desert revolts by fierce Surastani tribesmen to palaces of oriental splendor, where great nations vie for power with intrigue and treachery. Here, amid the pageantry and mystery of India, is woven the story of two brothers in love with the same woman, and the kisses that turned the tide of empire.
You're the only thing that's real here. All I know is that I'm holding you in my arms tonight. You're so lovely. After sniveling to me about how grateful he is, my brother comes to me and tells me he's stolen the affections of the one person I love most in the world.
But Jeffrey...
And not content with that, you've got the effrontery to come here and lie.
You can't believe that.
And lie and lie. Take your dirty intrigue somewhere else, but get out of my sight and stay out.
Better abandon the wall before it's too late. The bags, sir. We can hold them up from there and get them as they come over the wall. Give orders to abandon the wall. Bugler! Sound the retreat! Take cover in the barracks, men!
Michael Curtiz is one of my favorite directors, and I don't know why he's not in the conversation with Wells and Spielberg and John Ford. Kurosawa being probably my favorite and probably the best director ever working, but they never mentioned Michael Curtiz, and I think he was one of the best too. And he's
Bill Wellman,
overlooked.
Wild Bill Wellman and Michael Curtiz, who are my, they're in my songbook. They are the best directors, my favorite directors, of all these stuff, and along with John Huston and all this stuff. But you hear about Huston, you hear about Wells, you hear about David Lean and all these guys, but you don't hear about that guy, Well,
Lean, a tremendous amount of respect for Lean. I've got some great David Lean stories, especially from those who worked with him. John Huston, too. Huston did one of my all-time favorite films, Victory, or Escape to Victory if you're in Europe.
Yep.
And he, he did a lot of those Bogart classics. I mean, he was a landmark director. But Curtiz, man, I mean, Casablanca, The Seahawk, Captain Blood, right? Was Captain Blood Curtiz? So many legendary pictures, and he just gets. But I understand he was quite difficult human being to be around too. Maybe that's
one of his other cool things was the fact that he could do. Okay, you're going to do Casablanca. Well, then you're going to do like a kids comedy like Janie. Like this teenager who invites a bunch of army guys over to the house. Or he'll go into Four Daughters. You're in like what do you do with this romantic comedy Four Daughters, and then all of a sudden you're back to like doing Charge of the Light Brigade. I mean, he was so flexible. And the thing was that, like they say, you finish a picture on Friday, the newspaper boy throws your script on the lawn on Sunday, and you're shooting on Monday.
Now, Charge of the Light Brigade's an interesting take, and they've made several versions of that. And I'm not sure what it is about the Brits who love to immortalize classic military blunders. It's like doing movies on the raid on Dieppe repeatedly. Like we're going to keep doing the Dieppe raid repeatedly, or we're going to do the collapse of Tobruk repeatedly. It's like,
exactly.
I don't get it. It's like they have so many hallmark moments that they could do movies on, but they keep going back to the Charge of the Light Brigade. I'm like, these guys.
This is a movie that should not have been.
Yeah, and I have a feeling, didn't they shoot that out in Vasquez Rocks out here in California?
Yeah, probably over at the Warner Ranch in Calabasas and some of the other places. You're just like, it's a beautiful picture. I mean, it's fantastic, and you can't beat Errol Flynn, of course. So it's like, why not?
I remember as a kid, I thought, oh, this is getting mucked up by the love story, but whatever. It really doesn't. But as a kid, you're like, why are we getting off the subject at hand here? It's about suppressing the natives. It's about colonial imperialism. Why are we getting off the...
And I'm 10 and I'm bored and I want to see more Indians and guys on horseback and everything.
Yeah, and it's the famous mistake. That's got the famous scene, I think, where Errol Flynn disguises himself as like a native scout and rides around behind him. He's like, oh, they're over here. And he like misdirects the entire attack campaign and strategy to like engage on itself. It's ridiculous when you think about it, but it is a fun movie. It's a great movie in its time. And I remember that was one of those highlights during Errol Flynn week when we were kids on Channel 5, KTLA.
Oh,
The LA being Los Angeles. It was like LA's home little local cable station. And they would show those things, and that's the only place you would see movies like that. And it was fun. It was fun stuff.
Your road to redemption is paved with tombstones. No quarter, kill all masters. Go to noquarterkillallmasters.com. Rated R.